Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back with the next part of our learning C# tutorial. Hopefully we can go ahead and finish off this section of the combat for now, this video. So we left off where we didn't want to rotate the transform position, the fire position, if it was facing the wrong way. So the way we can do this is by doing a check. We can do if our mouse position, make two parentheses here, I'll explain why in a minute. If mouse position dot x is greater than our transform dot position dot x, which means that if the mouse position is more to the right than our position, and if we're facing right, then we'll go ahead and do this. Now, instead of doing a second if statement, I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys how to do compound if statements, and that's basically more than one check and one if statement. So if you find your 7 key and hit shift, that's what that key is. You need 2 of those, and that basically means and. And we need to do the motion dot is facing right. Forgot to mention I added this in here, public platformer motion. And basically that just references to this guy. And then on here you just want to make your is facing right. We had it private before, set that to public, so now we can access it from our combat script. And motion dot is facing right. And that works. Now we want to do the same for if we're moving left. So if you find the key above your enter key and hit shift, it'll be like these vertical lines. You need 2 of them. That is the compound symbol for or. So if our mouse position is to the right of our position and we're facing right, then we're okay. Or we want to do if our mouse position is left of our position and we're not facing right, then that is still okay. So we'll do another set of parentheses here. If our mouse position dot x is less than our transform dot position dot x, and motion dot is facing right, or if not facing right, that is okay. So let's go ahead and, before we try this out, actually, one more thing. We open up our eye projectile. We're going to go ahead and do a void start, and then another void down here. We'll call it destruct, and then in here we're just going to do destroy game object. And then up in here in our start function, which is called when it is spawned, we'll do invoke destruct, and then we'll do 15 seconds. Now what this means is when this projectile is spawned in, start a new timer for 15 seconds, and after 15 seconds call a method called destruct, which is here, which you can see will just destroy us. Basically that's just a timer for an automatic destroying us, so we don't, if we miss or something, we don't want this projectile to be flying out to infinity. We want to destroy it after a while so we're not wasting resources. Okay, so that's done. We can go ahead and test and see if our aiming is now working the way we want it to. You're going to want to drag your platformer motion onto the script here, hit play, and now we can aim like usual. And if I try and go behind us, it will not let us. However, if I turn and face this way, it'll start to aim again. But I cannot go ahead and whoops unless I did it super fast like that. But it should not allow us to go back behind here like that. Okay, so we've got that pretty much working. You'll notice we're allowed to shoot a little bit behind us like that. And the reason for that is because up here okay, this guy's gonna kill me. Let me move away. You'll notice that we did our check to see if our X position is greater than ours, and if you remember, we're checking for this X position, which is the center. So right here, it may look like it's not to the right of the player because it's on the player, but it is considered to the right of the player just because we're checking the center, and we don't really want that. So what we're gonna do is, instead of using our transform dot position, we're gonna go ahead and use our fire transform. Let's go ahead and see if that will clear that up. So now you notice we cannot shoot behind us because our fire transform is in front of the player. Whoops, okay. My game is beating me. And the same thing if we move left. We try and shoot above us, it will not work. And obviously, we can still move into our, if we're moving this way, we can move into our projectile. And the only fix for that, I would think, is an ignore collision. Or if, I think it'd be cooler if we made this faster. We'll move its speed up to 10. And we will also change our rate of fire to something like 0.15. We can go ahead and play now. We can shoot a lot faster, and the speed is also a lot faster. So we just wrecked that one dude, and if we go ahead and stop shooting, to wait 15 seconds. But those, whoops, those guys should start to destroy themselves after a while. As you can see, they're starting to go away, and that means our auto destruct is working. So I'm going to go ahead and call this this section over. In our next video, I plan on tracking our score. Eventually, we'll get around to ending levels, enemy versus enemy collision, displaying our health. We did our health, but we never actually got around to displaying it. Maybe something around like sound, and then later on, obviously, we want to do things like power-ups and a more improved camera script, improvements for all this sort of stuff. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.